Now, everyone can see my screen? Now, very quickly, we will run through for the benefit of new members and also for those just may do with a little bit of a refresher. Now, you recall that the candidate info is simply put in all your information, upload your picture, so you can just information which will be used in some other areas. Then we did the fact finding. Now, why we do fact finding? It's important to justify to yourself why you are doing this. It can be a thesis or it can be your paper publication also, doesn't matter. If you did a review paper, why? What made you to choose that? So it is very good to do this fact finding. So again, I will just have a quick look at the fact finding. We have done this several times in the past. We got to keep moving. So from the fact finding, we look at several topics which might be interesting to us, and then the mind map brings it all together here. Then you do your rating, and finally we come to the selection, which one is the best, the highest, and so on. And then we take the thesis title, and from the thesis title, you know that it automatically generates a sample of your title page. Very good to encourage the student to move on. Yeah, so here is the title page, sample title page. And you can also look at other things like approval, permission, declaration, acknowledgement. Very easy way of writing acknowledgement, but I want to keep to today's topic. Okay, from the thesis title, we come to the thesis statement. Now, you must always have a thesis statement, because the thesis statement is what you are going to demonstrate, to prove, to show that you have a certain conviction, and this is the ultimate statement that you want to be able to prove at the end of your study, whether it is a thesis or whether it is your paper publication. Now, so here we have seen how to edit this. Key words will come from your thesis title. Topic, issue, and scope will still come from your thesis title. And then we have the general aims. I recommend that you have only one ultimate aim. So you can put your aim here. You can just go to the text editor and you can just click on the orange button and edit an aim. The aim of this research, can you see? Okay. The aim of this research is to determine what factors within the implementation of Six Sigma affect the perceived quality of customer satisfaction in the Mawa Maternity Hospital. Remember, an aim is the end result that you want, and the objective is how you are going to get to the aim. Aim is a what. What do I want? What do I wish? And the objective is how do I get that? So here, same thing, text editor, you can have 1, 2, 3. You must have 3 different items, 1, 2, 3, because each of these 3 is tagged in the later stages. So here you can see that the objective to investigate the impact of Six Sigma to determine. So these generally they must have an action item to do something. So here we have the aims, statement, aims, and objectives. Very, very important. Now, once we have done that, we went on to the reference. Again, the reference, we got so many things. We have bundled just about what people do with 5 different software, 10 different software. We bundle it all together and integrate that. So for instance, we have the search string. We can search very thoroughly, very systematically, and we remember the search. Most people, they don't know, hey, what did I search? How did I arrive here? But with CRT, everything is documented. And you can always go back to it again. If you want to see what did I get here, just click on this and it takes you back to what you did in the first instance. And how is it? Yeah, you see? Very simple. Very simple. Normally you won't be able to do this. So with CRT, we can use the search string, and then if the search string is not enough, you can use search sources. You can look for scholarly literature, even by database. Okay, you can choose from any of these. So once you say, I want to search a scholarly literature, you click the next step, URLs. What are all the areas you can search? So once you look for something here, let's say like ethos or something, then you click on search and it takes you there. All this is already preset. We have already done the homework for you. And also, if it is something interesting, you can click add. When you click add, it adds to the list here. And later on, you can click on that item and it will still go to this sources. So you have search string, search sources, and then you also have the select sources. Now, maybe you started with 500 articles, but you zoom down, you eliminate some, you add some. So with the selected sources, you can keep a track of what you added, what you deleted by having this plus, minus, minus, plus. So if it is plus, that means you added more articles. If it is minus, you eliminated them. You eliminate because maybe it is too old, it's not related to what you are searching, or your supervisor says, no, 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 throw this out, or your supervisor says, no, no, you got to add this. So all these can be done so systematically. So much of work can be done in a matter of minutes. And then, very importantly, we came to the manage sources. Once you have identified the paper through search string, search sources, you can bring the paper inside here. Again, we don't go too much detail, but you can go to the edit section and you can see, for instance, how we can add the, you can edit it, for instance, so you can add the journal name, edit the authors, the year, the title, the journal, the volume, etc. And you can upload it. Now, once you upload, it will show you either you remove or download because it's already uploaded. So then you can upload this. You can also have a web link. You can put a web link. So it's a revision today. So once you do that, you get all these journal articles, and many students still don't realize that you can just change the reference style. Simply change here. These are the common methods that we have. For example, Harvard style will be like this. You have some italics and so on. Different things are italic. In MLA, you see that some things are underlined, and sometimes the year is put in front, sometimes the year is put at the back. So here the year is at the back, but I think in APA the year goes to the front. You see, here it goes to the front. So all this is taken care of. Okay, then of course you have the references, which shows you how it is given to you. And these references will follow your last selection of the style. You choose APA, it will show APA. You choose Harvard, it will show Harvard. And then this is how you do citation. So this is the full parenthesis, which is usually comes at the end of the sentence. This one is in the middle of the sentence. You want to say that Bella Vendrum something, then you would use this style. And both styles are available. So that is on the reference. And then we came to the literature review. Now, literature review, we have the mind map. Now, remember the mind map. At first, we start with only one word, literature review. But when we study, when we read, when we look through the excerpt collection, you can use the edit excerpt collection. Here, you can choose the the reference. And once you have added it, you close. Then you have these 5 have been assigned. So once you assign, you can simply go to any article. So let's say you want to read this, and when you click on this, you see that automatically it pulls up the document. Yeah, it pulls up the document, and you can read through the document. It's a bit big document, I suppose, or it's busy, and you can read through. And if you find something is important, like for example, the incentive to take a successive loan, or microfinance is giving a great opportunity to attain economic. So if you feel that this is important, what do? Control C, and you can paste it here. Then you put your comment here. You paste and you put your comment, and from here I showed you, okay, here you put the excerpts and your remarks, and this is just a page identifier. For example, page 69, so I put here page 69. Easy for me to come back to it. And then you click on all the codes that it applies to. Okay, this excerpt is roughly talking something about commitment, about project reviews. So you check those things and you save. And then for now, I just come out of it. And so here we have the excerpts, and this is our comments, your comments, okay? And you can rearrange it by using the plus sign here. You can rearrange it if you want. Maybe like, let's say, for example, you did page 10. Then after you did page 69, so you can move it above, or you can form any sequence, any order that you like. Now, once you have done that, you may also look at, wow, what are all my excerpts that I had? This reference got 6 excerpts, 6 excerpts, and this has got 3 excerpts. This one empty. You can delete it if you go to this article, conic, and you can delete it if you want. And you can see this is the total number of excerpts that you have. Now, finally, then we come to the editor. Now, when you come to the editor bases on the mind map, okay? Based on the mind map. So here is the mind map. So if you look at, say, statistical techniques, so you click on statistical techniques, and you can see that these are all the excerpts we have. These are all the citations. So earlier, you look at each article and get the excerpt. Now what is happened? You look at the quote and get the article. The other way around. Why? Because when we are writing the review, we look at the quote and we want all those who said anything about the statistical techniques. Anand, am I still clear?
Yes, Professor. Yeah.
Okay. Can you follow me?
Yep. All good so far.
This is revision. This is only revision, but we've done so much now. Okay. So while you are here, you can also click on something like this and click the gap. So when you click the gap, it will show you, where is this a gap or not? Remember, you are doing this progressively, and let's say you have done, or you completed your literature review on 50 articles or 100 articles. So these are all the things you can find about statistical techniques. That means we call it saturated. So once it's saturated, now you look, what are you planning to do and what have these authors done? Is there a difference between the current state, which the authors have done, and this is exhaustive, or at least we believe it's exhaustive, and what you are doing? Is there a difference or not? If what they are doing is different from what you are planning to do, your proposed state, then you just click on it and say that this is a gap. No other software does gap analysis like this. They just let you think, I think it's a gap. Why do you think it's a gap? In CRT, we know it's a gap. We identify it as a gap because we have done an exhaustive literature review, those pertinent to us, and these are all that the authors have done, but they haven't done this. So therefore, it is a gap. There's a very systematic way, but CRT is always very systematic. So like this, you must identify the gap analysis associated with each of these items. Now, once we have done that, we go to the editor, and in the editor, when you click on the editor and you click on edit, because you already done some work, you can see that it helps you, instead of going and pulling up your Excel file with tons of references here, another Word file you save another place, and you have another document elsewhere, and some you save there, and some you save no need. You just, everything comes here, and there's nothing for you to record separately. You can do it online, anywhere. So now you read this and you write your review. And this was the place last training session. And for those of you who missed the training, this was where I said we can use Quillbot. For example, let's say I copy this. I copy this section. Revision only, so we got to be fast. So I go to Quillboard and I paste. So I paste, and what do I do? I think Anand, you also missed this.
Yes, I did, but I know how this function works.
Okay, good. So here with paraphrase. Now, when we do paraphrase here, what are you doing? Are you giving plagiarism a chance?
No. No
Practically
way.
nothing. Practically nothing. And you can see this is the original sentence by the author. This is the paraphrase sentence. Does it look similar?
No.
No. Okay. And okay. So now what you do? You copy this and you go back to your editor and you can paste it here. Yeah. Let's say you just paste it here. Control V. You see, I've pasted here, and I think this is a repetition from previous sample. So I paste it here. Now, between last training and this training, I found one more feature which we can capitalize. Okay, and that is you can go to your Google Doc and just for me to get it separately. So, okay, where's my Google Doc? Google Doc, okay, here. So let's say, click on this. Now in Google Docs, you go to the tools and you click on voice typing. This microphone will come out here. Now once the microphone comes out there, and what you guys can do is, suppose you, where is it? Okay, suppose you're talking about this, and instead of typing, better still, this my, okay, you go to the Google Docs and say that, okay. Okay, now it should be there. Okay, so you click on this and then you say that Lean Six Sigma offers an entirely new method of conducting research for CRT students. Full stop. It's taking this one. Okay. Such a method enhances the rate at which students can write reports and conduct literature review in the most efficient way without plagiarism and having no fear of plagiarism. Also, this method ensures you have good English, good grammar, and good spelling.
Amazing.
Guys, look at this, man. Hey, nobody say wow.
This definitely deserves a wow thing.
It is a wow, because you know why? This is your words. What is the chance of 1 in a million that anyone would have said this?
Yeah.
Impossible. And now what happens? Triple click. So it selects everything and you come back to your document, Control V. Tell me, guys. Tell me, anyone. Tell me, is there an easier way to do this? So we have absolutely very good method of doing all of this. It didn't copy. Control C. Control V. Yeah, now it copied. So you can see that this is a fantastic method and it is free of charge. But you need CRT to do this. If you don't have CRT, then you're going to copy and paste to another Excel file, another Word file, and then merge it later on, and then miss it here, you miss it there, and then you're still fine for it. No way. But with CRT, directly it is there. It is directly there. And if you like, you can actually go to the excerpts and edit there. Yeah. Add it there, not edit. You can add it to that. Okay, enough. I think this is amazing. I was surprised when I found this out. I was very surprised because when you type something like this with your own voice, with your own words, the chances of plagiarism is practically zero. And not only that, Google has the best AI for language, the best AI for spelling, for grammar, for English. You just forget about it. You can just totally forget about it. And yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so let's come out of this. So we have done our literature review. Now you can see the what are okay. It says it's asking me to save, but let's say I don't save it. So you can see that these are all the variables you have, and it is showing to you very easily which ones you have is a gap, which one is not a gap.
Yeah.
Okay? Which of the independent variables, the dependent variables, and the scope variables. Now that brings, just to remind you, where do you mark something as in IVDV? You see here in the gear icon, selection, either you select or not select. Not select means, yes, I studied it, but I don't want to include in subsequent research, so I exclude it. Why is it important? Because sometimes supervisor will say, hey, why you left that out? No, I didn't left it out. I excluded it. Left out means you didn't do. Exclude means I considered it, but later I found it's not relevant, so I excluded. Also, you don't want to simply throw away the work you have done. So here's evidence that you considered it, but it's not relevant, so you can not select it. Now then you mark it as either independent variable, dependent variable, or scope variable. Now, so you mark it here and you save it here. Can follow?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, once all these basic things are done, so you can come here, variables, and check which ones have gap and which ones don't have gap. And you might be, just kind of summarize it. Huh? And then, of course, your conceptual map, everyone should be familiar by now. Automatically it generates this conceptual map and also the literature map. Now, how is the literature map different? Because the literature map gives you a trail of references. A trail. Why did you talk about initiative? Where did you get this idea? Conning. Where did you get the statistical technique? Conning and Lancaster. Where did you get the commitment? Lancaster, Modi, and Gabriel. Which software will do this for you? No way. And did you put any effort? No, it automatically summarizes. Okay, done the revision. We have taken a bit long time today. Now I'm coming to the research question. Okay, so we got to have a quick thing here. So come into the research question and we go directly to the research question. And here I click on edit and I click here. What is the blue icon? New research question. So I click on this new research question. It will come out like this because I haven't assigned the applet to it. So now I go and edit it. Okay, and what do we have? Okay, we have something like this. Question edit. So we go and edit and let's say, you see, it already comes out and says your basic 4 things which must be here. One is select topic. Select the topic. So the topic will come from the IV automatically. Whatever you in the mind map you put as IV, it will come here. So let's say shall we take okay, let's just skip to Six Sigma. I like it. Okay, Six Sigma. Now here is very important, you know. Six Sigma increases. So increase, we have a lexicon. Lexicon means a dictionary of other words that can be used. For example, maximizers, minimizers, or just simply say increases. So Six Sigma increases and, increases, then you click here or you can click the orange button also. Okay, increases customer satisfaction, save, and your scope. The scope will only come with those items that you have done before, which you have selected. So let's call it Mawa maternity. So now when you save this, what happens? Six Sigma increases customer satisfaction. Now, you can always improve the sentence by adding something. For example, the application of, make it more meaningful sentence. The application of Six Sigma what can we put here? Methodologies. Okay, Six Sigma methodologies. Increases customer satisfaction in. Okay, in. Okay, actually it should be in the form of a question, so we should maybe rephrase this as does. Okay, does the application. Okay, now look at the blue one here. Does the application of Six Sigma methodologies increase, maybe you should put increase customer satisfaction in Mawa maternity? Looks logical?
Yes.
So logical. Now, you have three objectives earlier. Which of these does this research question answer? So let's say to investigate the impact. Okay, you selected to investigate the impact of customer Six Sigma on the customer level. So now we close it. So that means you're answering the first question. Now then you go to the question rating. Now what does the question rating do? The question rating shows that you use Six Sigma, it's not a gap. You use customer satisfaction, it's also not a gap. And you use scope Mawa maternity. Nobody has done this study here. So one way is you can, maybe it's not a good question. So what you should do is perhaps you go and look for something else that may be let's say maybe statistical techniques. Maybe that is a gap. So then what happens? Straight away it updates everything, close. And what do we have now? Let's look at a question rating. So we have gap, no gap, gap. Now sometimes it may happen like that. One of it is not a gap. So overall, what is the rating? The research question rating is strong. Now this is something like your password. If you have all strong gap, then you will have a very strong password. If not, you just get a strong, otherwise weak password. Something like your research question, something like the password. Moderate, strong, moderate, weak. Okay. Now, once you have done this, and here is the next most important thing. Now, earlier what did we put in the question? We put in the question is increases. So the moment you put increase, CRT says, oh, okay, these are some of the tests available, mean, median, population, proportion, and so on. So now we come to the test selection. So in the text selection, we come to select applet. So this is our question. Does the application of statistical techniques, methodologies increase statistical customer satisfaction in Mawa maternity? It's just copying back the question here. And now it says, okay, since you said increase, these are all the types of tests available to you. So you can choose which test you want. So depending on the type of test, there are many advanced tests available. Correlation, regression, and so on. And for now, let's just say I want this one. One second. Okay, so when you choose two or more independent samples, what are all the tests available? You got Kruskal-Wallis, which is non-parametric, difference of proportion, test of homoscedasticity, and let's keep it simple for our demonstration purpose, difference of means. So let's choose difference of means. And so this is the one different, or you can click here. So you can click the text or you can click the image. So I click the image and it straight away tells me, hey, you're doing this test, okay? So you need sample 1 data, sample 2 data. This is the hypothesis. This is the test statistic. Impressive or not? You did nothing. You just say, I select the t-test. Huh? I select the independent 2 tests. Now, if you had chosen something else, some of these are not, okay, homoscedasticity. You see, you're comparing 2 variances. Okay. These are some new tests I added. I'm not sure I have it. So let's look at this one. If it is a Z test, what are you doing? Look at that. It gives you all the equations and everything. Now let's go back to our original one. Difference of test means. So we just keep it simple. Here's another formula, different one. This is difference of means t-test. Okay. Now once you have chosen this, you have to save it. Make your selection already. So it says, okay, you're going to do this test, and now you assign the applet to the project flow. Now, when you assign the project, the applet to the project flow, if you look at this, you see, it puts it here. You always put at the last row. Okay. Now, later we will come back to it and continue from there. But for now, I come back to this and we come back to our research question. Where will we? Had it here, here. So we are here, and our test selection. Yes, this is the one. Now, what is the test design? This test design is a 2-group post-test only experiment. Group 1, Group 2. Before and after treatment. Simple. We got all the facts. And test method. Wow. Wow. Can you see? It has pulled in the statistical test that you will have to do. Okay. So it has put in this test. So you know that this is the theory, and of course you can develop it. We are not saying take all of this and continue. Take it and develop it, okay? And then, how do you do your research hypothesis? Students, oh, I don't know how to do research hypothesis. Go and check supervisor. Supervisor say, come back next week. You go back next week, supervisor, today I'm not free. Next week again, 2 weeks, oh, I'm on holiday. Isn't that the normal? Okay. So now we come here, and straight away you can see that CRT suggests to you that your research question should be statistical techniques increase customer satisfaction. Of course, it doesn't put the nice English, but you can do the same here. You can add text in front, text in the middle, text at the end to make it more meaningful in terms of English. It doesn't change our situation, but it makes it easy for the person reading it. So you can, I leave it to you to go and add a sentence. So here you can restructure the sentence by adding linguistic words. Okay. So when we close, you have your research question. Now, not only the research question, after the research question, you need the null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis. Correct or not?
Yeah.
Now, what is the format for the null hypothesis? So, this is your null hypothesis. It should be something like the mean customer satisfaction after is lesser than or equal to the customer satisfaction before. Why? Because you said increase. So, CRT automatically detects that, hey, you said increase, isn't it? So, this one should be lesser than, and the null hypothesis should be greater than. Now, how many days will it take for you to get this information from your supervisor? I don't know. Anand, any clue? Busy supervisors, come back next week. I'm not well, I'm not free. Go and do your study first. Or maybe even the supervisor also doesn't know. Many of them don't know statistics, you know.
Yeah.
Don't know about null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. But here you are given the framework. And then, not only that, after that, you go and format your research aim. Again, it gives you the keywords. You have to make a nice sentence out of this. And also with your research objectives, you can add the objectives. What are the things you need to do? I will show you in something that I have completed because this will take time. And we don't want to hold up master and PhD students here. So I will show you some other examples we already done. Now, finally, not finally, lastly, final, last, after last still got some more, my own definition. Okay, what do you think you will get when you click sample plan? You want to see?
Yeah.
Okay, click sample plan, edit. Now, what kind of sampling plan do you need? Do you need a probability sampling plan, non-probability, purposive, qualitative, whatever? So in this case, most appropriate would be probability sampling. If you want to do probability sampling, then you see, you got random sampling, systematic sampling, strata or cluster. If you choose non-probability sampling, then you have quota sampling, snowball, convenience, or volunteer sampling. Now let's just go back to our probability sampling, and suppose I want systematic sampling. So this is the diagram illustrating systematic sampling, and here you have the text. How should you do a systematic sampling? It's all here. You can take it and edit it, modify it. It's all here, how to do it. Some equation is missing, but the whole method is here. Can you see?
Yeah.
The whole thing is here. Same, and how long did we take to do this? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
About 10 minutes. And that's I'm explaining to you. Once you know it, you can do it in 5 minutes. Now then you can save it. So you save it already. So now all these things are available. Now let's just go back and look at something that I have already done before. So let's go back to the research question, and I want to do something that I have already done before. So I go to research question and edit. So let's look at this one here. This is a t-test, one sample t-test. In the edit, you can see that, this one, decrease, okay? This one, we want to decrease something. So what is the question rating here? No gap, no gap, gap. So moderate. Test selection, this is the test selection of one sample t-test. Test design, different, and test method is different. Different formulas are here, and it pulls up everything for you. 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, you click, you get the result. Then you have your research hypothesis. Again, you can see that the structure is different, and because now you say less than, so in the HO, you have greater than. We don't want that one. Greater than. And in the HA, the mean poor preservation is less than, because you systematically want it to be less than. Because your research question, you say, I want it less than. And in the same way, you can have your research aims. So here, I have typed in a good sentence. And you can also look at your research objectives. What are the objectives? Okay, I have to brainstorm for possible solutions to blood bag wastage, root cause analysis of blood bag wastage. These are things I need to do, okay? Which of course you can expand in your thesis or paper. And also finally, what is the sampling plan? I want simple random sampling.
Yeah.
Just a matter of minutes. Now, not only that, now suppose we come back to the schema. In the schema, okay, what are all the research questions that address my general objective? Number one, number two, number three. These are the 3 questions that address that question. And how do I address the second objective? These are the 2 questions, research questions. Even I can have qualitative. I will show you. I think qualitative, today we just look at the overall research question, go and practice on it, because otherwise you come back, you don't know what is the question, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So this will be next week's, next training's detailed structure. And for now, you can see that the schema is showing me that did I address all the research question or not. Now, because this one I do not have the data yet, so I would like to go back to the research question because I want to show you something, what happens if you have the data. So this one, in fact, there's no harm. We will go forward. It will show that you don't have data. So from the research questions, you can, when you put the applet, just now they put the applet here. So these 6 or 7 questions I rearrange back to here. Can you see in the center? And when the applet has been dropped here, you simply go to the applet and click on the applet. So when you click on the applet, this applet has been 100% customized to take your data. Okay, so here I do not have the data. So sample data it will be asking for some kind of data. So there is no data. It is showing like this. Now let's go back to something that has the data. So here, for example, the t-test 1 sample. Here is my data. I have 1 sample. So there's only 1 sample of data. And close your eyes and open your eyes. In 1 blink, it has done the test. Not only it has done the test, it has identified that this is for the lower tail, upper tail, one-sided left, one-sided right, and this is the two-sided. All these are available here, but remember, I can't remember this sample, whether it is lesser than or greater than. So according to your research question, CRT knows to take the right conclusion. For instance, this one, enough statistical evidence that the true mean is less than 21.50. I tell you, you can go and use any software. You can use Excel, you can use SPSS, you can use Amos, you can use R, you can use Theta, you can use Minitab. Nobody gives you this conclusion.
Very true. Yeah.
Nobody. Now, so here, CRT knows which is the right test to use. So we go back here. In the same way, you can do correlation test. Let's look at one correlation test. All you have to do is put in the data. So here is the data for the correlation, sample 1, sample 2, and it does the calculation. So it did the calculation and draws the graph with the confidence interval. And what is the statistical test outcome? Is the correlation significant or not? Not enough statistical evidence. Or enough statistical evidence, or enough statistical, depends on the line where it is. So in this way, you can have all your tests, even, today we just look at the result of using qualitative analysis. Now, when you use the qualitative analysis, today we don't go into the detail of how you make the excerpts and all that, but I want to show you the code map. So this is the code map that was generated from your data. So you created this, and you can also get the code map graph. How many people supported answered family, how many people answered environment, and so on, and your concepts and your categories. So this will be next training sessions content. And from all of these, from the research question, you can look at the research strategy, research methodology, all this, we can look at it. But right now, I will show you that from all of these, what happens is that you can go to the research finding, and when you click on the research finding, you can see that the first one, what does it say? Test data not available. Why? Just now we haven't completed it. So then the others, enough statistical evidence. Number 3, enough evidence, enough statistical evidence, enough statistical evidence, enough statistical evidence. And for the qualitative, it says conclusion, management perception of quality matches the expectation of the employees in the production floor. All of it is brought together. And when all of this is brought together, you can look at the conclusion. And what do you see in the conclusion? Okay, what was the aim of your first research question? So this one, not test data not available. Then the second question, the aim to demonstrate this one. Did your result prove it? Yes. So result. Aim, result. Aim, result. This is the correct way. Did you achieve the aim to demonstrate in the research question? Where does the aim come from? From the research question. You understand? Okay. So now what happens? It's showing a workman. You are not done yet. But suppose I go back here and I want to delete the one that I haven't completed. Let's just say I go back here and I want to, which one is it? I delete this and I delete the data. Okay, now if I go back to my findings, it has given me all, and I will next go to my conclusion. And what do you have in the conclusion? Done, 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 done.
It gives you a little trophy.
We got a trophy. So you can see how powerful it is. Now you can do many types of research questions. You know, the types of research questions that you can do will depend on, let's just go back here and let's suppose, I don't want to change this research question, but as a matter of fact, you can go to the edit here and the modifier. So you see, you have a big choice. What do you have? Decrease, equal, increase, non-hypothesis, correlation negative, equal, positive, regression, intercept, homogeneous, same, that means it is equally distributed, independent, goodness of fit, mediation, moderation, covariance, normality test. You want to do normality test? You can do it here. But first, you go and do the simple one, you come back, I explain to you this. Otherwise, you say, oh, Dr. Nick, I cannot understand. I don't know how to do. How do I do this? First, learn to crawl. Then you learn to walk. Then you learn to run. Then you learn to sprint. Correct or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Process.
Okay. So you have all these tests, and depending on what you choose here, CRT knows which test design to use. Okay, you see, it also knows what type of test you need, and it also knows you will still do the same question rating. So gap, no gap, no gap, so it's moderate, and you can automatically see why it is gap or no gap. And you can go and revise, find more information, find another article. And how to find the article? We got a long list of methods. Search string, search, select, quest, search, select source. You can go and find new articles, see whether you can modify this. So systematic. You can come back and revise, change, update, upgrade. And now here, test selection. What is the test selection? This is the test selection. This is the strategy by which you are doing. And also the test design, can't remember myself, okay? Test method, how is it you are doing? So it tells you the structure through which you are doing. And your research hypothesis, how should it be? Your research aims and everything. And again, your strategy. You can also look at all your research hypotheses together, and you can see all your aims and objectives together. Structure everything. No need to hunt over here, over there. Where did I put this? Where did I put that? So all of these are coming together, and today is a very, very pivotal point of our training. And we have practically started off in research question. And for all our CRP members, please go back and try it. When you try it, you will find areas which you don't know. And what you don't know, you can go back and try again, or you can come back and ask me how to do it. And it takes only a few minutes to do that.
Yeah.
So with that, that is our training for today.
For more information, see our other videos on research and thesis writing following your interests. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.